It's been called a prophecy of doom, a roadmap to the apocalypse, and a puzzle no one can solve. The Book of Revelation has fascinated and terrified people for centuries. But what's the real story behind this enigmatic text? Why does it inspire fear and endless speculation about the end of the world? In this video, we'll break it down, its history, its symbols, and the reason it continues to captivate our imaginations. If you've ever wondered what the Book of Revelation is really about, stick around. The truth may surprise you. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most famous and infamous texts of all time, the Book of Revelation. This final book of the Bible is packed with vivid imagery, dragons, plagues, a final battle, and even a new world rising from the ashes. It's been interpreted as a prophecy of the end of days, a coded warning, or even a commentary on ancient politics. But here's the thing. Revelation isn't just a religious text, it's a cultural phenomenon. From blockbuster movies to conspiracy theories, its influence is everywhere. In this video, we'll explore what Revelation actually says, the historical context behind it, and why it continues to spark fear and fascination in equal measure. Let's get started. The Book of Revelation was written around 95 AD by a man named John, who was exiled on the island of Patmos, a rocky outpost in the Aegean Sea. The Roman Empire was at its height, but it was also a time of turmoil and persecution. Early Christians, the group most likely to read this book, were being imprisoned, tortured, and killed for their beliefs. This context is key to understanding Revelation. It's written in a style called Apocalyptic literature, which was common in ancient Jewish and Christian writings. Apocalyptic texts use vivid, symbolic imagery to reveal hidden truths about the present and future, often written to give hope to people facing crisis. But why is Revelation so feared? Part of it lies in its language. It's filled with visions of destruction, wrath, and cosmic upheaval. On the surface, it reads like the script of a disaster movie, but there's more to it than meets the eye. One reason Revelation is so intimidating is its heavy use of symbols. But these aren't random. They're rooted in the culture and history of the time. Take the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, for example. Each horse represents a force: conquest, war, famine, and death. While they're often interpreted as future calamities, they also reflect the realities of the Roman world, where war and famine were all too common. Then there's the beast, often depicted as a seven-headed monster. Many scholars believe this represents oppressive political powers, possibly even the Roman Empire itself. The infamous number of the beast, 666, has been linked to Nero, a notorious Roman emperor, through a system called gematria, where letters correspond to numbers. And what about the seven seals, trumpets, and bowls? These escalating judgments could symbolize the chaos and disasters that humanity brings upon itself, whether through war, greed, or environmental destruction. While these symbols can feel cryptic, they make one thing clear. Revelation is less about specific predictions and more about illustrating cycles of conflict and hope. Revelation has been called a book of fear, but why does it evoke such strong reactions? First, there's the imagery itself: plagues, fire, falling stars, and even a lake of fire. These apocalyptic scenes have been interpreted as predictions of the end of the world, fueling countless doomsday prophecies over the centuries. But here's the thing. Most scholars agree that Revelation wasn't meant to predict the literal end of the world. Instead, it uses symbolic language to describe struggles between good and evil, and the hope for eventual renewal. Still, its imagery has been co-opted by fearmongers, conspiracy theorists, and even pop culture. Think of how often phrases like Armageddon or the apocalypse are used in movies, books, and news headlines. Revelation taps into our primal fears: fear of chaos, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown. Revelation's influence goes far beyond religion. It's shaped literature, art, and even politics. Artists like Albrecht Dürer created haunting depictions of the Four Horsemen. Writers like Dante and Milton wove its imagery into their epic works. And more recently, it's inspired everything from dystopian novels to hit TV shows. At its core, Revelation is a story of contrasts: destruction and renewal, fear and hope. This duality is what makes Revelation so powerful. Revelation has been called a puzzle, a prophecy, and even a warning. The Book of Revelation contains a series of visions and revelations that are rich in symbolism and often open to interpretation. Here's an overview of the major revelations presented in the text. 1. The letters to the 7 churches, Revelation 1-3. 7 letters addressed to specific churches in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey. These letters praise, criticize, and warn each church based on their spiritual state. The key themes are faithfulness, repentance, perseverance in persecution, and the consequences of spiritual complacency. These letters serve as a wake-up call to the early Christian communities and are often seen as applicable to individuals and communities today. 2. The vision of the throne in heaven, Revelation 4-5. John is taken into heaven, where he sees God's throne surrounded by 24 elders, 4 living creatures, and a scroll sealed with 7 seals. The scroll represents God's plan for the future. The Lamb, symbolizing Jesus, is the only one worthy to open the seals. This vision emphasizes God's sovereignty and the centrality of Christ in unfolding divine plans. 3. The opening of the 7 seals, Revelation 6-8. The Lamb opens the scroll's 7 seals, each unleashing a specific event or symbol. First seal, a white horse, conquest. Second seal, a red horse, war. Third seal, a black horse, famine. Fourth seal, a pale horse, death. Fifth seal, the souls of martyrs cry out for justice. Sixth seal, cosmic disturbances, earthquakes, darkened sun, falling stars. Seventh seal, silence in heaven, followed by the introduction of 7 trumpets. These events symbolize the tribulations that precede the end times. 4. The 7 trumpets, Revelation 8-11. 7 angels blow trumpets, each unleashing a specific judgment on the earth. First trumpet. Hail and fire burn a third of the earth and vegetation. Second trumpet. A blazing mountain, possibly a meteor, destroys a third of the sea. Third trumpet. A star named Wormwood falls, poisoning rivers and springs. Fourth trumpet. A third of the sun, moon, and stars are darkened. Fifth trumpet. A plague of demonic locusts is unleashed. Sixth trumpet. 4 angels release an army to kill a third of humanity. Seventh trumpet. Proclaims God's kingdom and introduces the final series of judgments. The trumpets symbolize escalating chaos, each revealing consequences for humanity's rebellion. 5. The woman, the dragon, and the beast. Revelation 12-14. A series of symbolic visions depicting spiritual conflict. A woman clothed with the sun gives birth to a child, interpreted as Christ. A red dragon, Satan, tries to destroy the child but fails. 2 beasts arise, representing oppressive powers. The first beast comes from the sea, often interpreted as political powers or empires. The second beast comes from the earth, interpreted as false prophets or corrupt religious authority. The mark of the beast, sect symbolizing allegiance to these forces of evil. These visions highlight the ongoing battle between good and evil, and the spiritual forces behind worldly events. Revelation 13 is one of the most discussed and enigmatic chapters in the book of Revelation, focusing on the rise of 2 symbolic beasts and their role in global deception and control. 6. The 7 bowls of wrath, Revelation 15-16. 7 angels pour out bowls of God's wrath upon the earth, leading to catastrophic events. First bowl. Painful sores afflict those with the mark of the beast. Second bowl. The sea turns to blood, killing all marine life. Third bowl. Rivers and springs turn to blood. Fourth bowl. The sun scorches people with intense heat. Fifth bowl. Darkness and agony over the beast's kingdom. Sixth bowl. The Euphrates River dries up, preparing for the final battle. Seventh bowl. A massive earthquake and hailstorm destroy cities. These judgments symbolize divine retribution and the final breaking down of the world's corrupt systems. 7. The fall of Babylon, Revelation 17-18. Babylon, personified as a harlot riding a scarlet beast, represents corrupt and oppressive powers, often interpreted as Rome or any worldly empire opposed to God. Judgment of Babylon. Babylon's wealth, immorality, and exploitation lead to its downfall, mourned by merchants and kings. Babylon's fall symbolizes the ultimate collapse of corrupt human systems. 8. The final battle, Armageddon, Revelation 19-20. The forces of good and evil clash in a climactic battle. Jesus as the rider on the white horse, leading the armies of heaven to defeat the beast, the false prophet, and their followers. Satan's defeat. Satan is bound for 1,000 years, then released briefly before being cast into the lake of fire. The Great White Throne. Judgment. All people are judged according to their deeds. Death and Hades are destroyed. The significance of this is that evil is eradicated, and justice is fully realized. 9. The New Heaven and New Earth. Revelation 21-22. The final vision depicts the restoration of creation. A new heaven and a new earth replace the old. God dwells with humanity, erasing all pain, death, and sorrow. The river of life flows through the city, and the tree of life heals the nations. This vision symbolizes ultimate renewal, peace, and eternal harmony. So what are the themes of the Book of Revelation? Judgment and justice. The Book of Revelation portrays divine justice against evil and corruption. Hope and renewal. Despite the chaos, it promises restoration and a perfect future. Symbolism of conflict. The imagery represents the ongoing struggle between good and evil in both spiritual and worldly realms. The Book of Revelation is not just a catalog of doom, but a text filled with symbols of struggle and hope, pointing toward renewal after destruction. Its dramatic imagery and enigmatic messages continue to inspire, challenge, and fascinate readers across time. What do you think? Is Revelation a warning we should take seriously? Or is it simply a fascinating glimpse into the fears and hopes of the ancient world? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.